So what you must first do is develop your own inner authority, right? Get in touch with your inner father, the father that feels rage at its child being bullied, and use that assertion, right? In other words, you got to realize that every man and woman has an inner mother and an inner father. Shamans, the ones who were considered to be the wisest people in the tribe, got their wisdom from either, if he was a man, their inner mother, and if she was a woman, their inner father. That's who they got their wisdom from. Now, why do I say that? With men, think about it. Men are naturally more what? More aggressive, more me, right? So what does women say? Let's get everyone to work together, right? So naturally, a man's bias will be towards me, 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 me. He got to be able to balance that energy and consult the inner woman within him, right? So he'll naturally have a more harmonious way of thinking, which will lead to wiser and better decisions, right? But women, on the other hand, they have the soft nurturing part of them, right, which is more forgiving, which is more prone to bring people together, but they don't have that aggressive inner father inside of them that will stand up to people who are bullying you, that's less forgiving. It is a yin and a yang. It is about balancing that. And rather than feeling that passive aggression, which women are pretty good at, you gotta learn how to develop, rather than developing aggression, develop assertiveness, which is completely different. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Right? And so this is what you guys gotta do. The inner authority comes out during moments when you have to do something, right? When you're noticing that you have work to do and you have no other time right now, so you get it done. You notice this inner authority when you gotta go to work, right? As opposed to when nobody's forcing you to go to work, you don't go to work. But all of a sudden, when you gotta go to work, there's something inside of you that forces you to get up even though you don't want to. Only when there's outside pressure, right? That inner authority is your higher self. Is the part of you that gives you the discipline, right? So creating boundaries, you first have to create inner boundaries. And what we're going to be talking about is not just boundaries in terms of people, but boundaries within yourself. You know, knowing when to study, knowing when to go to work. And then that'll naturally expand to setting boundaries to everyone because that's going to be part of your reality. You feel me? Yeah. So you gotta learn to swing that sword around in small ways first, right? In other words, you gotta learn how to assert yourself. I'm getting ahead of myself, but we're gonna get to it, right? You gotta learn to assert yourself in small ways first. We know we're not gonna be confronting the last biggest thing first. You first have to assert yourself in small ways first and build it up after a while. Because the mistake that people do is that they sort of, how can I say this? They attack the big fish first, right? You first want to start saying no in small ways, crawling before walking, all right? So what we want to do is this: we don't want to build the wall, okay? We don't want to build walls. We want to create boundaries. It's completely different. Building walls is more of a trauma, right? When somebody hurts you, when you feel violated in a certain way, you create boundaries, but they're more walls than boundaries. They're more to isolate yourself, right? When you create boundaries, it's more about creating a harmonious and healthy environment where you work with your own self, where you know, do this at this time, and with other people, they sense that you have limits. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Because, man, if you don't have this, your life is going to be chaotic. You're going to be emotional, and it's going to affect every aspect of your life. You see what I'm saying? All right, but we want to consciously develop those boundaries. Okay, so because life is all about limitations, right? If you don't limit something, it'll turn against you and consume you, like a cancer, right? What's cancer? Cancer is I don't know about cancer too much, right? But cancer is something that's like growing at a rapid rate. It has no boundaries. You see, life is all about boundaries. What do I mean by that? Like a cell is alive because it has boundaries. There's a boundary between itself, right? And it's the boundary is usually out of, I guess, it's oil. Oil is I heard oil is the source of life because oil separates water, right? So water, it creates like a little boundary and you know, it's able to have a little ecosystem. But what was I saying? So if you don't limit something, it'll turn against you and consume you, right? Addictions are a lack of boundaries. Disrespect are a lack of boundaries, right? So this is what we want to do, is be able to have control over ourselves. The reason why a lot of people don't have control over their lives is just because they have no boundaries. And again, it's not about creating boundaries with just people. the first place you got to create boundary is within yourself. Demanding certain things from people. And demanding respect for yourself. Demanding that you're not going to feel this way. Demanding that you're not going to let people treat you this way. So you first treat yourself that way. You first elevate that level of standard towards yourself. And it'll naturally be projected onto people, towards people, not in an aggressive way, but in an assertive, calm way. And I can promise you, when you do this, again, like I said, your circle will lessen, but it's going to be more quality than quantity. You see?
So if you're a guy that's just like me, who considers himself a nice guy, and you in your whole life you've been getting played by women, this is the course for you. Remember, I was a Bible teacher for most of my life as a teenager. So I was the quintessential nice guy. So this course that I created is specifically made to bring out your assertive nature, because when you're a nice guy, your assertiveness is suppressed. So by watching this course, you're pretty much going to learn not to get played. Now, mind you, you're not going to turn into a white guy into a black guy. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to happen because you see a white guy and then you see a big old black guy named Tyrone. That's not going to happen. What's going to happen is that you're going to learn how to assert yourself in a respectful and healthy way. You're going to learn how to express yourself. You're going to learn how to demand respect from men and women. And what's going to happen at the end of this course is that men will respect you and women will bang you for the most part. Okay, so you're gonna, and the beauty about this is that there's a 30-day money back guarantee. 30 days. So if you don't like it, just message me and I'll give you your 30, and I'll give you all of your money back, and you can keep the course. So what you can learn about the source of human aggression, strategies on self-assertion, how to identify different types of disrespects, right? How to deter aggression, signs of weakness that you might be sending out that's causing people to disrespect you, right? You're going to learn how to attack some people and who not to attack. It's pretty much going to make you more socially intelligent. It's a course for anybody who struggles with assertion, and specifically with people who've been jaded by being played by people, okay? So if you want to purchase this course, go to the description down below and where it says purchase nice guy and do it now. 30-day money back guarantee, no questions asked, and you can keep the course. God damn it, okay? Because I am that nice of a guy, ironically, okay? So I'll see you guys inside, and I hope you guys enjoyed this course. I put a lot of my heart in it, and I'll see you guys inside. Purchase it now. Take care. Stay toxic.